a princess. A wicked witch of the east, bro. You're gonna look at me and you're gonna tell me that I'm wrong? Am I wrong?
All right, fuck it. We're live. We are back, and we've got some new faces on the show, boys. Welcome to the show. Sammy Vituli's back again for another episode, and a new face to the TMIW pod. Welcome in, Dalton Smith.
Glad to be here, boys. Glad to be here.
Dalton, tell the
pleasure.
people. Yeah, tell the people a little bit about you. We need to get some backgrounds. Talk about your teams, who you like, where you're from. What the fuck's going on, dude?
Well, not much. From Nashville, Tennessee. Went to college with these boys.
Yes, sir.
Didn't play football. Played a little baseball on the side. Humongous Georgia fan. Born and raised. Huge Falcons fan. Yeah, I'm just hoping the Dogs, 3 in a row. Michigan championship doesn't count, so we're still going for the three-peat.
There you go.
That's a damn good dog right there, boys. All right. Let's get into it. Obviously, we wanted to bring D. Smith onto the podcast in case you live under a rock and you didn't know that the biggest game of college football this weekend is Georgia versus Texas. So I'm sure we will bounce into that. But first, I got some shit to address. We haven't had a show for a while. Obviously, you can see Kyle Kirk and Julian John Baptiste are not on the show. Conflicting schedules, a lot of shit going on. However, I did say that I would address this, and it is time for me to address this absolute fucking shit show. Well, the card wasn't too bad overall, boys. So this is back in week 6. And listen, I'm gonna go ahead and just start. All right, we're gonna rip the Band-Aid off now. So this Mizzou Texas A&M game was probably a top 5 worst day of my life. I'm not even kidding. As Sam knows, we were in Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri, watching this game. We're at a wedding. My parents flew down for this game, got some tickets, went with Sam's parents, went to the game. Very jealous I couldn't go. However, very thankful that I didn't afterwards. That was just an absolute disgrace of a football team that showed up that day. We came out, first drive, go down the field. We didn't get a pass interference call that we ended up punting on, and then it just looked like from there, this team just had their head so far stuck up their own asshole that we wouldn't have beat Benedict in college that day, boys. It was the most.
There was some momentum when those 2 touchdowns got called back, though. There was some momentum there, and then that was the dagger. Once that happened,
there's no fucking poise. There was no composure. It was just a fucking disaster from start to finish. And we just got our ass fucking smoked. And listen, me being a Mizzou fan, like, I should know better because there's no reason on earth that I should have my hopes up as high as I did for the season, just as a track record of fucking going back 27 years of being a Mizzou fan. However, I did have my hopes high, and that's just what happened. So, thank God we beat the living fucking shit out of UMass last weekend. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here today because I did say if Mizzou did not cover against UMass last weekend, that I would literally have killed myself. I'm still here. So,
Luke, can I ask one question?
Yeah, hop in.
Why was Mizzou at UMass? Was there a reason for that? Or
I have no clue, dude. I had something to do with the ADs, like for Mizzou and UMass, like being homies, and I think they were just looking for a quick mill or two. This is like, I guess a tune-up
they were
game.
that was like a high school football team.
I guess a tune-up game in between fucking A&M and Auburn, who we have this weekend. I don't really understand it, but
Auburn's
whatever.
Bad team.
On the card.
Running through the rest of the card real quick. Michigan State cashed. Honestly, the dopest backdoor cover that I've had all season. After the brutal betting season that I've had, I deserve to win. Vanderbilt plus 23 won outright. So easy cash. Clemson continued just to beat the ever-loving shit out of everybody. And then Florida plus 2.5 at home against UCF.
Good week other than
yeah.
Mizzou.
Real good week.
Real good week. So
plus money.
Anyway, Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago. Obviously, we didn't have a show last weekend, so we didn't have picks. But now, we'll get into.
I'm surprised you didn't have Uncle Greg queued up.
Dude, I'll put that in the show. I'll go
Yeah.
ahead and cut it. I'll put it in.
Yeah.
But dude, and to add insult to injury, my Uncle Greg is at the game, and he is on Bleacher Report as one of the sad Missouri fans that's at the game, just like with his head stuck in between his arms like this. Just a total fucking disaster. Total disaster.
Oh, so bad.
But anyway, all right. Well, that was week 6. We can go. We'll run through some of last week's games because there was some shit to talk about here.
Oh,
and then
it was such an awesome week.
Boys, we can just hop in. We can hop in, and then D Smith. I know you're a listener of the pod, but just feel free whenever you got some shit to say, just pop out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, we'll get this.
Do we want to start actually just with Oregon, Ohio State, and just get that going, that conversation?
Yeah. And college football, boys, the college football is fucking awesome right now,
It's
and
awesome.
it needs to be talked about more. It's so fucking good. Anyway, like I said, Clemson just continues to beat the fucking shit out of everybody they play. 49-14 against Wake Forest.
Who did Clemson lose to?
I think week
Georgia?
1 they got outclassed by those dogs.
Georgia?
Like a great win so far.
Yeah, that helps.
I mean, D. Smith, honestly, since that week 1 win, people had wrote off Clemson, and then they've just been putting up 40 burgers to everybody else the rest of the year.
I mean, they may be the best team in the ACC by like a decent amount, I think.
Yeah, I think they beat Miami too.
Wait, Dalton, would you have wanted Alabama to lose this past week, or would you wanted them to win for that loss to look a little bit better,
To Vandy?
To South Carolina.
I mean, I hate Alabama, so I want them to lose every chance possible.
Yeah.
But more they lose, the worse that loss looks. But
Right.
I don't know. We just kind of got some bad juju with Bama. We just can't beat them.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
not
that
a lot
loss,
can. So
Bama's loss to Vanderbilt is honestly looking better each time Vanderbilt plays. So,
Vanderbilt's
I mean,
not
and Missouri beat them in overtime, and I thought that was the end of our season. Little did I know it would just be the following week against A&M. All right, here we go. Yeah, Missouri beat the shit out of UMass. Listen, there's a lot of good college football last weekend. Nobody forget that Mizzou beat the shit out of UMass. All right, we'll keep it moving. Alabama survives a close one against South Carolina.
dude,
D. Smith,
that
did you watch
onside
this game?
kick. Oh my god.
Did they onside kicked it twice too, right? And
Yeah,
Bama got it the first time, or they called a timeout or something.
No, you're thinking about the. I think you're thinking about the Broncos game on Sunday. I think you're conflating those two games.
Similar jerseys.
Our Army's a wagon. Beat UAB 10-44. Washington, after beating Michigan, then gets their shit stomped by Iowa.
Bad.
So, I mean, what the fuck is? First of all, what's Washington? Second of all, what's Michigan? If that's happening,
Right.
I think Michigan is a bad football team. A
I
lot of good
agree.
players on defense.
Are they on anybody's card? Because isn't their line pretty close with
I got them on my
Is
card.
it Indiana?
Illinois.
Illinois. Thank you.
Boys, Wisconsin. Don't look now, but Wisconsin found a quarterback, and this Brandon Lockey kid. They had that Van Dyke dude from Miami, and he got hurt. Last 2 weeks, this Braden Locke kid's come in, and he's been putting up just ridiculous numbers. I mean, they beat the shit out of Rutgers 42-7. And Rutgers is a team that I've been betting on all college football season.
They're
Yeah.
scrappy. And they
So they
always
might be
good running backs. They always have good running backs.
Yeah, that Monungai kid's awesome, but they bottled him up, it looks like. Yeah, 19 attempts for 70. Well, he had a decent game still, but this was the problem. And I was telling the guys on the last show, this Kala Kamanis dude is a liability at quarterback. He had 103 yards passing.
This is the Rutgers quarterback.
Yeah, Rutgers quarterback. That was my only scare that I had for them was their quarterback play, and you can't throw for 103 yards.
No.
That just can't happen. Let's find that This was a good
Hey,
game.
Penn-
This
Penn
Penn
State was
State
a good
USC game.
That was a great game. I did watch that one.
Penn State went 33-30. Did you all see? I saw on Twitter today that I guess USC is opening up. Like you can basically buy a pass to run on the field with like the team, and the Penn State dude did it, and he was like running out with a Penn State jersey.
I saw that on Bleacher Report. I think that was really funny.
Fucking ridiculous, dude.
Would you pay $1,500 to run out with Mizzou, Luke?
Absolutely not. They need a pay meter after the A&M loss. I even got my maroon on right now. I might be a converted fucking.
I know, and you have A&M in the background too.
Yeah, let's just to block out the sun in the fucking SB saloon, my boys. Anyway,
Drew Aller keeps putting up great weeks, even though I'm a Drew Aller hater, but he's playing well this year so far.
yeah, he played well. I mean, and I was surprised how much they threw the ball. When I felt like they could just run the ball whenever they wanted. Honestly,
well, they did they got down like 20 quickly.
Yeah, it was 20-3 or something
right?
like that.
At half. Yeah.
Hey, that the tight end for Penn State, 44, I believe.
Yes, dude, that guy's
Watch
a
out for
freak.
him.
Yeah.
Watch out for him.
He's a freak. He was all over the field last week.
I live bet Purdue, Illinois, because Purdue, it was with like 7 minutes left. It was like plus 1,100, and I thought they were gonna pull it out. And
Dude, they almost did. They went into overtime.
Is Syracuse? Quick question on Syracuse.
Yeah.
Or sorry,
Where
Illinois. Illinois.
Yes.
Are they good?
Yeah. Good defense. Good defense. They got a quarterback that's serviceable enough. They got some good receivers. Luke Altmaier is their quarterback. He's pretty damn good. I mean, they played Nebraska, and he just shredded them. But honestly, I didn't have this game on. I was just kind of keeping track of the score, and then I was surprised that because Purdue's been ass all year long.
They went crazy in the second half.
Yeah. 17 in the third and 23 points in the fourth quarter.
And I believe that 17 was like halfway through the third, which is crazy.
Wow.
Hey, quick look ahead though. Purdue might have to bet a money line this week
against Oregon.
Who are they?
Oregon.
Hey, when number one teams go into West Lafayette,
dude,
they don't go out.
Scary shit happens at Purdue at night. And it's on a Friday.
Trap game, Oregon trap game.
Look out!
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. Sammy, you want to take over this? Texas 34, Oklahoma 3.
Yes. Okay. So, I was texting with Logan because the matchup is always. It does not matter how good either team is. It's just always a close game. I remember I don't know if you guys remember this, but when like OU was a top 10 team and Case McCoy was the quarterback for Texas, and they went and like beat them. And then there was like last year we should have won and we lost. And then there was the year when Caleb Williams came in for Spencer Rattler, we were up like 21-0, and then OU came back. So it's just like always a close game. And I was just like, I mean, I don't love Texas in the spot. I mean, it can usually be a season ruiner. And then the first couple drives, I was like, oh no, like, Quinn Ewers threw a pick opening drive, and then but then they missed a field goal, and then I was like, oh, okay, maybe that was just nothing. And then we had another, like, we just couldn't get the offense going, and then obviously it was just absolute blowout. But I will say, after watching that game, I feel like we should probably have Arch Manning in. Quinn Ewers just doesn't look like 100% from his injury, and he just didn't look that great that game. I don't know. I think that's going to be the question mark this week. Is Quinn Ewers play? Because everything, our defense is insane. Everything else on our offense is, both lines are insane. So,
to your point, Sam, I do think like going into the game, Oklahoma's offense is absolutely fucking terrible.
Bad. That quarterback was bad. I'm surprised they didn't put in the original starter. I forget what his name is.
Yeah.
Jackson Arnold.
Yeah,
so
I feel like
I don't know what that situation is, but whatever it is, it's not good because Jackson Arnold honestly was terrible the first like 4 games, and then this Hawkins dude that they have playing now is almost worse, and the only thing that he has over Arnold is he can run. So I wasn't worried about Oklahoma's offense, they have a really good defense, and I think that kind of also like coming back from an injury with Ewers and then facing this Oklahoma defense that knew that they had to ball the fuck out to stay close in that game. I mean, I can see him having a bad first quarter, but then you look at, he still had 200 yards and a touchdown, so I don't think he played horrible.
Yeah, I would just say, if I wasn't like rooting for Texas, I honestly would have probably bet.
I bet.
It was like 17.5, right? It was a big
bet
line.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
It's usually a close game if you look at it.
It's always a close game. It's always a close game. So, I don't know.
Oklahoma
think,
just doesn't have the guys right now. Like their quarterback's ass. All their receivers have been
although their
hurt.
defense really isn't like bad. I feel like their defense isn't Venables. How do you say his last name? I don't even know how to say it.
Venables.
Venables. Isn't he a defensive guy? Like, isn't that what he? Yeah.
He came from Clemson. He was Clemson's D coordinator when they won. When they were winning all the time. I think he's on the hot seat. I don't think he lasts in Oklahoma. I don't think he's the guy.
I think so too, D.
Who do you hire though? Who do you bring into that?
If I was Oklahoma, legitimately, I would offer the biggest bag in the world to Lane Kiffin. I know that's kind of crazy, but I think he's
is OU a better job than Ole Miss? I really don't know. It is.
I think 100%.
What about Cignetti over at Indiana? That guy's winning everywhere.
Dude, that quote he had was pretty
badass.
I do really like him, and he's one he was at James Madison, right? Is that where he's from?
JMU, and then he's with Indiana. Indiana's 6-0, putting up.
What was his quote? He was like, I don't lose."
Guy was like, "So what? Like, why are you so like confident about you're implementing your culture, this football team?" And he was like, "I win. Google me."
Yeah,
fucking awesome. And he backs it up. That's the coolest shit ever, dude. I was really high on Arizona that's coming this year. Noah Fafita is probably, if you could win an award for least improved player of the year, it would be Noah Fafita. He has been terrible this year.
He was top 5 Heisman coming into the year. I'm pretty sure.
Terrible, dude. They still have that McMillan kid at receiver, and he's awesome, but. Watching Fafita, he's so much worse this year than he was last year.
Is the McMillan guy going to the draft this year? Or
he'll be a top 10. Yeah. He'll be a top 10 pick probably. He's so good. D. Smith, talk to me about Mississippi State 31, Georgia 41. What happened here?
I don't really know. This is the first time in maybe since Kirby's first year that our defense is just. We've got first round picks left and right on the defense, but the DBs are kind of iffy. We lost Bullard, and he's starting for the Packers. Lasser's starting for the Titans.
Texans.
Texans. Tyke Smith starting for the Bucks. It's just not a great defense. I think they can put it together, but offense I'm really not worried about. Carson's his second 450-yard game of the year.
Yeah, 450, 3 touchdowns.
Arian Smith. Yeah, the offense is not what I'm worried about. It's just the defense. Mississippi State's not a good team. And it was really out of hand quick, but it was just one of those games. I don't know. I don't really know what to think of this Georgia team. They're obviously good, but it's just not Kirby's coaching a weird team this year.
Yeah, I didn't get to see this game, but I was keeping up with the score, and I was just I was expecting. I think it was 27-10 at half, and I was like, oh, Georgia's gonna blow them out, 45-10, and then I was going through the final scores. I saw 31-41. I was like, what the fuck?
Was it close? I wasn't watching this game at all. Was it close for a little bit, or was it?
They just never really put them away.
Did they score at the end?
It was never uncomfortable, but. Go ahead, D.
Worried we were going to lose, but there were times when I was like, come on now. This is we would be up 14, third down, 8, just 60-yard bomb, 40-yard pass. It was just one of those games, you just couldn't put them away.
Yeah.
Gross football.
Let's see what else we got.
Hey.
My God.
Get them on here.
Yeah. All right. Florida 17, Tennessee 23. you all know my stance on Josh Heupel. I hate that motherfucker, stupid fat fuck, and his dumbass offense. Once he gets into SEC play, people are finding out that you can't just go play Kent State every fucking week and put up 68 points or whatever. Whenever you play, not even a good. I mean, everyone knows that I was very high on Florida this year. They are ass, and I'll be the first to admit it. But you cannot, especially when Graham Mertz gets hurt and then you let in DJ Lagway, although he's a 5-star freshman quarterback in Tennessee, and you only put up 23 points and beat this team in overtime. I mean,
Me and Luke, we've texted before. Both big, huge Josh Heupel haters. It's just not good. He's not. I don't think he's a good coach. I don't think Nico's the guy.
Where did he come from? Where did Heupel come from?
he was the OC at Mizzou when Drew was
That's
there.
right. You told me that.
Yeah.
That's right.
He came from UCF. He was on.
Yeah.
He was coaching those UCF teams, but he's an Oklahoma guy. So, yeah, I don't. I think Graham Mertz stays in. They win that game
I think so too. I think so too.
easily.
And this is what pisses me off so much about this guy is like he's the coach that will go out and get style points, and he like obviously against Kent State. What they won like almost 80-0 or some shit like that, and he's kicking onside kicks in the second quarter when they're up 40 already. I'm like, this fat piece of fucking shit, and now he looks like a dumbass because he can went into overtime with Florida, who's a terrible team.
He's 500 in SEC play since he started.
It's
I
embarrassing.
believe.
It's embarrassing. And I
he's
mean,
gonna
I think
he's going to make a lot of money off of that one Alabama win.
yeah, and he won't win another one.
No.
So anyway, that's my rant for Tennessee, and then I'll get
There you
on to
go.
him again and when we talk about this week's slate of games.
Oh, Rice. How about that? Rice with the win.
Oh yeah, Rice won.
They're bad.
Against
They're
Utah.
so bad. Freaking Utah.
All right, I need to talk about this Ole Miss LSU game, boys.
Okay.
I have a story for you.
Can I give my take before you give your story?
Yeah.
Because my take's not
Yeah.
anything. Okay. So I watched. So correct me if I'm wrong. LSU opened against Notre Dame, or who do they open against?
USC.
USC, and they lost.
Correct.
Okay. And then Ole Miss has not played anybody of significance until this game. Is that also
They lost
correct?
to Kentucky.
Okay.
Other
Are
than that,
either
no.
of these teams, are they just – because LSU, in my opinion, looked really good, but Ole Miss also did look really good. I don't watch enough SEC football, but are they still considered like, I don't know, top tier SEC right now? Or because I love Lane Kiffin. I mean,
He just Lane Kiffin kind of always gets to this point in the season, and they're ranked very high, and then they just can't beat the big dogs in the SEC, really.
yeah, like I feel like this is every year where they're like a top 10 team, and then they have end up with 3 losses.
And this is by far they hit the transfer portal hard. This is their best team that I think Ole Miss can put together, to be honest. So
That throw that Nussmeier had, though, to tie it was a pretty beautiful throw.
he's
say.
very good.
Yeah.
Nussmeier came into the SEC championship 2 years ago when Jaden Daniels
Yeah.
got hurt, lit us up. He's a good quarterback.
Nussmeier's good, and they were without like 2 or 3 big time like receivers too. I know they had that
Lacey's maybe my favorite player in the country.
Yeah, so good. All right, so this last weekend we're at Lake Charles for our buddy Marcus's bachelor party, and we go into the sports book and we're watching the game, and we have it kind of set up like it's behind me. So like there's a couch here and then a bar behind, and it's like me, like all the Houston boys, and then Marcus brought some of his Dallas buddies, and they're like kind of on the backside, and we all took LSU. And like we're sitting down cheering them on, and then like right next to us are a bunch of guys from Ole Miss. Like have the jerseys on. Dude's got like the sweater vest, like with the hair, everything, mustache. And so they start. We're like rooting for LSU along with the whole bar. These Ole Miss guys start chirping, like flip off Cole, like doing all this shit. And so, like long story short, like the whole game was kind of just back and forth. I mean, just a couple double birds back and forth to each other, but mostly Ole Miss was kind of in control of this game for most of the game. So they were the ones like being able to talk the most shit because LSU was behind the whole time. Come the fourth quarter, it's like I think LSU was down 7, and they go in and like it was that play where I don't know if y'all are watching the game, but it was like a pass.
yeah.
Guy caught it. I guess he went down, but everyone like I thought he scored a touchdown. So the whole bar starts going crazy, right?
Yes, I remember that play.
And I'm like up. Me and Nick are sitting on the couch. I get up. We're all like high fiving each other, everything like that. We turn around, and one of the Dallas guys that we know, we like look over, and I guess like he went over there to give like the double birds back. Guy in the sweater vest like pushes him, and he's like, "Bro, what the fuck?" Pushes him again. So dude swung, hits him right in the jaw, and then before we know it, like there's security just like running in, like pulling everything out. And like before I could even turn back around, they had like 4 or 5 security guys there just ready to clear that shit up. Like the home dude in the vest, mom, like comes out of nowhere and she's
Wait,
like,
Marcus's buddy got smacked in the jaw?
"No, he punched the Ole Miss dude." It was crazy. So anyway, they all get kicked out. The dude in the sweater vest is like chirping everyone's like, "I'll beat your fucking ass," like blah blah blah. They walk out. That's when they go into overtime, and then Ole Miss loses the game, and they're not even in the bar to watch it. It was the best. I'll never forget that game, dude. That was so much fun. But I mean, my whole thing was if you're an Ole Miss guy at a bar in Louisiana and you're gonna act like that, you have to expect that you're gonna get hit in the mouth, right? Like that's just crazy.
So Luke, my little brother, freshman at Ole Miss this year, actually was at the game. If you've never been to a game down there at night, it's must see TV.
Well, that's why I took LSU because they were getting like 4.5 at home, and I was like, well, that's a no brainer, or 4 at home, and I was like, yeah, that's easy bet. So that game was going on along with the Ohio State Oregon game. So we didn't have the sound on that one, but that one was crazy too. How about fucking Will Howard not having any kind of time management?
So
whatsoever?
I thought, and I think Luke, I told Luke this. I thought Ohio State was gonna like demolish Oregon. I thought this like honestly, was not taking into account how much of an advantage Eugene is, but like I thought Oregon sucked. Like the little bit I've watched of Oregon, they've just sucked, and Dylan Gabriel just doesn't seem good. And I was like, "Oh, Ohio State's gonna just blow the brakes off of them." And then obviously they lost. But I was like, "What a great game!" But what an idiot at the end. He could have slid. I think he had at the 2-second mark. He was close enough where he could have slid, taken a timeout, and they would have had probably plenty of room for a kick. And then was it an intentional? So he intentionally had 12 men on the field. That was like an intentional thing.
Yeah, he did come out and say that it was intentional.
And they're already fixing the rule. They've already put the end.
Yeah, they already did. I saw that. They can't. Yeah, time will go back on the clock. That's crazy. So with this game, I didn't bet it, but mostly because I was scared. First of all, it was in Oregon. Second of all, Ryan Day always finds a way to fuck these games up somehow. No matter how good his team is, I think if you play this game nine more times, I think Ohio State wins all of them. But it was just one of those games where, like, I mean, if you lose by that, it almost comes down to coaching at some point. And he's consistent. I think I saw something where he's won like 2 out of 9 games against top 10 or 5 teams or something like that. So, like, at some point,
I don't even know if it's 2. I think the last time I saw, he's only beat 1 top 10.
So he just can't. He can't win the big game.
Can't win the big games. Can't win the big games.
And arguably had more talent than anyone.
They have the best team, the best roster by far in all of college football right now.
They pump out the best receivers in the NFL. They pump them out.
Yeah, they have freaks.
Jeremiah Smith might be the best one so far, which is crazy.
Yeah,
I just think I don't think he's a good coach. I
agree.
There's just no reason with the amount of talent they have that they continue to not win a championship or at least make a championship.
That Boise State running back's nasty.
Bro, Genty is unfucking real. All right, let's get into next week. Let's go to. Do
you want to touch on K-State, Colorado, or no?
Yeah, I'll talk about it because I took them. I did end up taking K-State. I think they were -3. First half, I think it was 21-7. I was like, oh, this is like K-State was just bullying them up front, like just running all over them. Their running back, I forget his name, but I mean that dude had like 192 yards.
Giddens, I think.
Yeah, Giddens.
He's nice.
Just, I mean, like 10 yards a pop, guys. It was like, the way to beat Colorado is just to beat the shit out of them, like literally, like up front. And then, like in the second half, they kind of just got away from the run and then just let Colorado get right back in the game.
Yeah.
They go down, like K-State went down by 4, like with like 2 minutes to go. And then in 2 plays, they scored again to go up 3. So it was like, I ended up pushing, but it was just a wild game. Colorado always finds a way to make games crazy as fuck at the end too, which I don't understand. But I mean,
They're fun
Travis
to
Hunter
watch.
got hurt. He was
They're a
out.
fun watch.
Yeah, they are a fun watch. So, all right, boys, week 8.
Week 8. Dang, it's wild that it's week 8.
We got
Going
some
quick.
games.
Going quick.
We got some games this weekend. So if you have them on your card, we'll talk about them later. So I know like this Florida State one, I got this Oregon one, so we'll talk about that later. Virginia Tech, I kind of like the Hokies in this spot. I know I'm biased, but Blacksburg.
What's the line?
Oh, sorry. Let me zoom in. 7.5.
Huh. At Virginia Tech.
At Virginia Tech at night on a Thursday. Blacksburg's going to be
Boston
rocking.
College. Is their quarterback playing? Castellanos?
Yeah, he's playing, but I think teams have kind of figured him out a little bit because I'm pretty sure they haven't played. I know he was hurt one game, and then they almost lost to like Western Kentucky or something like that. But I mean, they haven't really looked all that good.
I also just like Bill O'Brien in the college game.
Yeah,
he's just a good college coach.
They beat Michigan State by 4. They beat Western Kentucky by 1, and then they lost to Virginia last week, 14-24 at Virginia. And then you turn around on a short week and go play Virginia Tech on Thursday, and Virginia Tech is coming off of a bye. So I like the Hokies in the spot at 7.5. I don't know if you guys have any opinion on that.
I'd probably be on the Boston. I don't know. I mean, it being at Virginia Tech is the only thing that makes me just pause. But I mean,
well, even Virginia Tech's losses, like if you look at them now, I know people were giving them shit at the beginning of the year because they lost to Vanderbilt, but Vanderbilt turned out to be they beat Alabama. Right. So they lost to Rutgers by 3, Miami by 4, and then Vanderbilt in overtime. So even their losses aren't like crazy bad.
I'd probably be with you. I'd be with you on that bet. Yeah.
Anyway.
BYU, Oklahoma State. That's an interesting one.
Have either of y'all watched BYU play?
No. I
watched them last week against Arizona, and I mean Arizona's not that good this year, but their quarterback that they have, they just don't fuck up ever.
Yeah, they're one of these teams like Indiana, and I just haven't really watched them, but they're undefeated, obviously. And people are putting them, I've seen BYU in the top 10. I just haven't been able to watch them much. So,
is Oklahoma State just a disappointment this year?
Totally.
I mean, weren't they supposed to be like?
Dude, it happens every year. Every year that Oklahoma State comes up in the Big 12 and they're supposed to do good, they always find a way to fuck it up. And it's always the years that you don't expect them to be any good is when they're really good.
Yeah.
Gordon's been has Ollie Gordon just been a no-show this year?
Nothing. Nothing. A big old fat 0. Nothing. It's been terrible.
And Oklahoma State's coach, he got headbutted by one of his cattle this weekend. So
yeah, I saw that. Well, and he shaved his mullet.
Yeah, he lost the
Gundy.
He
Gundy
lost the bot.
Gundy shaved his mullet.
Oh man, that was iconic.
BYU might be a hammer then.
Yeah. I mean, and it's in BYU.
Hey, Arizona State, can we touch on them for a second?
Yeah.
Please.
Where do you see them?
Top right.
They got Cincinnati.
I think 5-1. Is that what that says?
Yeah,
they beat the shit out of Utah last weekend.
Their coach, Kenny Dillingham, I think he's probably a top 15 coach in the country. They're I can't really see if they're favored or not. I'm assuming they are.
Yeah, they're 5-point underdogs at Cincinnati.
I very much like them. I don't have them on my card, obviously, but they've been cooking recently.
Sneaky.
Yeah. Their running back, Scattaboo, I guess that dude's just been running all over everybody.
Yeah, him and
cool name. Cool name.
That's a great name.
He's got more broken tackles
white dude.
than Ginty. So
yeah,
he's a problem.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay. All right, I'm not gonna talk. I'm not going to talk about Missouri. I'm not going to talk about them. That's all I'm going to say.
They are on my card.
I'm not going to talk about them. Louisville looked really good at the beginning of the year, and then they lost to Notre Dame, and I
Is
think
that
they
line
lost
only
it.
5? Is that what that
Yeah.
says?
Well, they lost again last weekend to who they played. I think it was Virginia, or they barely beat Virginia by like 4 or some shit like that. They started out hot, but have just turned into a dumpster fire. Miami starting to get a little worried. I think people are. You're not worried about them.
I'm off Miami. Yeah,
I am too. I am
them
too.
out
I think it's a matter of time before the wheels kind of come off there.
They've been helped twice. They've been helped twice already in big games. Cam Ward very very good, but if Georgia had to play Miami in the first round of the playoffs, I'm looking at next week's tickets.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. So they beat the shit out of Florida week 1, and then they played Florida A&M 1, Ball State 1, South Florida 1. Then you survive a game barely at home against Virginia Tech, and then you go to Cal and you win them by 1 when you really should have lost the game. So, I mean, the remaining schedule is Louisville, Florida State, Duke, Georgia Tech, Wake Forest, and Syracuse. So they're all like pretty winnable games, but they haven't really played anyone yet.
Syracuse Miami will be a good game.
Great game. So I don't know. I mean, if I had to take one here, I think I'm going to have to go to Louisville.
Yeah. At home, too. I mean, you got that going for you.
5 at home. Yeah, add that to my card.
Rush
I'll
to
take
fill.
that.
That's a rush to
Add
fill
that- add that to
opportunity.
the
Add that
card.
to my card. I'll take that. The Fighting Six Ignettis, they're 6.5 point favorites. It's Nebraska. Do you guys got anything here?
So I haven't watched. I mean, I do like Nebraska, but I just haven't like done any deep dive on them. I feel like I don't know. I feel like Nebraska might be the side on that. I know it's at home for Indiana.
Quick question: who's the best team that Indiana's played so far?
I can tell you that right now. I know they've been putting up 40 points a game, like easily.
This could be like the SEC homer in me, but it's just like, Luke, if you saw 7-0 Indiana coming to your team to play, just one of those teams, I'm not really scared of them.
Yeah,
I do like
I
the coach,
agree.
but
I think if you hear so they've played a bunch of no names, but listen to the scores: 31-7, 77-3, 42-13, 52-14, 42-28 against Maryland. They beat Northwestern last weekend at Northwestern 41-24. Northwestern's like not great, but respectable. And so, I mean, the shitty teams they're playing, they're doing what good SEC teams do, and that's just beat the fuck out of them. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm excited. This will be their first big test, honestly, against Nebraska. I know Ryla's damn good.
I mean, they're getting a touchdown.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm staying away from it, but
If I were to bet it, I'd probably bet Nebraska if I were to bet it.
Yeah.
But
Clemson,
are they going to absolutely wax Virginia?
They should. Like, nothing should change here, honestly. Just continue to beat the shit out of teams. So,
Klubnik,
they're at home.
Klubnik is low key putting up maybe
Crazy
some of the best
numbers.
numbers in the country.
Crazy numbers.
I mean, I think it's like 20 touchdowns, 2 interceptions now.
Yeah.
And I think people wrote them out week 1, obviously, but I think they're a damn good team.
I agree. I like Wisconsin in this spot too. They're 7-point favorites going to Northwestern. I mean, Wisconsin kind of figured it out with this Locke kid at quarterback. So I'm not taking it, but if I had to, I'd take Wisconsin here. I think you all have either Sam or one of y'all have the South Carolina game, so I'll wait for that.
Yes.
Same with Alabama. Let's see. I have this Michigan-Illinois game.
I think that might have went up even more.
Which one?
The Tennessee-Bama game, I think.
I don't see anything else. I like this spot right here for Mississippi State. This is a big time trap game for Texas A&M.
I didn't pick Mississippi State, but I think they might have got a little juice last week.
Yeah.
Playing us. And that quarterback, Van Buren, seemed like he kind of found something. So I don't have that on my card, but I would. Mississippi State's not the easiest place in the world to play.
No, although it's
and A&M, this this kind of seems like one of those A&M weeks where everyone's back in on A&M, and then
They
Yeah,
just shit the
put up a
bed.
stinker.
Yeah, totally.
that would be classic.
Yep. And then we'll get into this game, obviously. So, all right, let's get into the cards now. You all ready for that?
Oh yeah.
All right. All right, Sammy, we'll have you lead off, brother.
Beautiful.
Let me pull up these cards real quick. Oh,
I changed it last second, but big on the troops. Big troops guy over here.
All right, here we go. Sammy V coming into the week.
You know what's
brand
great about
new
Sam's
0-0.
Lock? Sam's Locks is Grandpa Sam Lock.
That's facts.
Shout out.
Sam Lock. Sam's Locks. All right, here we go. So first game, Auburn plus 4.5 going to Mizzou over under 51. Sam.
Yes. So I think this is just a friend bet. I'm just doing this because I think Mizzou's. From what I've heard, Auburn is just a really bad football team, and I think people are putting a lot of emphasis on the A&M Mizzou loss blowout, and I think Mizzou just. I think they handle this. It just seems like I don't know. I don't see them get this game being close at all.
Sam, listen to me when I tell you this, that I hear you.
Yeah.
I definitely hear you. And that's literally all I can say.
That's all I need.
That's all I can say.
That's all I need.
Next game, LSU minus 2.5 going to Arkansas over under 55.5. Sam.
Yeah, haven't watched a lot of Arkansas. I don't know. I know you guys were texting about it before we got on, but I feel like the LSU win over Ole Miss was pretty impressive, and I would imagine Ole Miss is better than Arkansas, so I'm just kind of playing a little bit of logic game there on that one, on that bet.
I like it.
I imagine they beat them by more than a field goal, so.
I like it. South Carolina getting 1.5 going to Oklahoma over under 41.
Again, logic bet. South Carolina almost just beat Alabama, and OU got smoked by Texas, and that's my logic on that one.
Love it.
You know?
Logic bets.
Yeah,
Logic bets.
I'm not going to give you any cogent analysis on any of these. It's just feeling.
Just going down the board. All right, last one. Florida State going to Duke. This game's on Friday night. FY. Florida State is a 3-point favorite going to Duke over under 42.5.
Yeah, so I have unfortunately randomly watched Florida State, and they're just a really bad football team. I have no idea if Duke is good, but getting 3 at.
I believe they've got Texas old quarterback.
Oh,
Murphy.
yeah, they're back up. The black dude that came in last year. I forget his name.
Oh, well, then I like it even more. I like that guy.
Yeah, he's not bad.
And it's that team.
Yeah, and I also just love Florida State being awful after all the hoopla last year going into the playoffs. So I just kind of hope they get. I hope they get cooked. Honestly,
praying on their downfall.
Game. So I'm feeling a 4-0 week coming from that cogent analysis.
I love it. Just logic bets.
I'm gonna let you guys kind of do some more really in-depth analysis on football
Sammy,
games.
sometimes you just gotta go with math and logic, brother. There's nothing.
Hey,
wrong
it's
with
college football,
Facts. All right, D Smith, welcome to the show, brother. Let's hop right in.
Locks.
Georgia getting 5 at Texas over under 56.
Oh my God, you put this on your card?
Oh yeah. We haven't lost a team not named Bama in 4 years. I think we keep going.
While we're here, Sam, I want to get your thoughts on this game. Dalton, obviously, want to get your thoughts. Dalton has them to win, but
I'll start.
We do have a Texas fan and a Georgia fan, so I figure it'd be.
I'll start. I think Texas, it seems like, this is the most college football I've watched in a long time. It seems like they are just objectively the best team in the country right now across the board. As I said earlier, I think the quarterback play will be the defining factor in this because I just think, I don't know. I just don't know if Quinn Ewers gets this. That would be the thing if Quinn Ewers can get it done. I think everybody else on the team is phenomenal. I think our defense is phenomenal. Sark is arguably one of the best play callers in college football. So, it's just if Quinn Ewers can execute.
Sam,
but I think if Quinn Ewers does execute, then I think it's I think we cover. I think they cover if Quinn Ewers can execute.
I would be more scared of this game if Arch was starting.
Yeah, Arch looked good.
His legs are such a difference maker, I think.
Right. Yeah, because Quinn cannot. He's not mobile at all.
Sam,
It's
let
good
me
to
ask you.
have him in the back pocket, though, I guess.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Let me ask you a question, Sam. If you lose this game,
Yes.
does Arch start next week?
I mean, you have to, right? Right?
I mean, if you lose to Georgia,
Well, here's the thing. Is it a loss where it's like they get blown out, or is it a loss like
just
it
a
comes
loss.
down to the
It
fourth?
doesn't matter.
No,
Yeah,
I
it
think if
doesn't-
it's like a good game and they
Yeah.
lose, no. But I think if it's like, here's the other thing. If it's like 21-3 at half, I think they just throw Arch in, to be honest with you. I don't think they like D Smith's. I mean, I think if they're losing, I think they throw Arch in. And then here's the thing. I mean, this will affect, I think this game will define where Quinn Ewers' draft status is.
yeah.
I mean,
Because I
it's
think
two
as of right now, I think he's like he'll probably get drafted, I would assume, like late first, early second. He kind of seems like, I mean, he's not a top 10 pick in my opinion. I mean, I know a lot of teams need quarterbacks, but I don't know. I think if he has a stinker, he's done.
It's probably two of the top 5 QBs in this next draft playing this game. So, yeah, I think whichever quarterback plays better is kind of a. I mean, if it's a close game, there's no way you don't start yours because it is a top 5 matchup.
Right.
But there's going to be a lot of people in Austin, Texas, calling for Arch's name if they lose.
Does Georgia get knocked out of the top 25 if they lose this game?
No.
No.
All right, no, because I mean, it would be we can't lose again. If we lose this game, we can't lose again the rest of the year. But our 2 losses would be to number 1 Texas and number 7 Bama. So,
well, this is why that Oklahoma win is just so much more important. I mean, if you came into this game both won, lost, it probably actually would have been a much bigger game had Texas lost, honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, if Georgia does win, it makes the SEC really weird. I mean, if Georgia wins,
everyone would have a loss.
Yeah,
everyone.
Is Texas the last undefeated SEC team?
in the SEC.
Yeah.
Well,
D. Smith, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If I had to go into your bank account and put a dollar amount on this game for Georgia to win, you tell me when to stop. At what point you don't think that's a comfortable bet? Okay. $100, $300, $600, $1,000.
Right there.
Okay. All right.
I would never. I'm not betting that much coin, but I would. I'm pretty confident. I feel like, like I said, we've kind of got that bad juju with Bama that we just can't beat them other than the Natty. But any other team, dude, it's just with Kirby coaching, man. It's hard to, as a Georgia fan, we haven't lost to anyone not named Bama in 4 years. So it's hard to be confident, but Texas is very good. I'm not taking away from Texas at all. They're, I think, 1-2 with probably us and Ohio State. I think are probably the 3 best teams, even though Ohio State lost. But
you have to also take into account just the Georgia experience. I mean, like Texas in the past 10 years doesn't have like big game experience like this where the games really matter. Aside from last year.
First real SEC test, I'd say, for
100%.
Texas. Game day, I don't know.
I'll also say this. I thought the line was going to be. I thought it was just going to be a pick 'em. To be honest with you, I'm surprised.
Thought so too.
I thought. I'm surprised. I mean, I know it's
5
at Texas.
Crazy.
That's crazy to me. I mean,
so yeah, home field advantage is I think 2.5 immediately. I thought it was going to be like right there. I'm surprised it's gotten up to 5. The higher it goes, the more confidence.
Did it open at 5 or did it get better?
Opened at 3.5 or something like that.
Opened at 3.5.
Wow.
But
so it coming up to 5 means everybody's on Texas. Is that?
Yeah, 75% of the public is on Texas right now.
Usually, like right before the game, like Friday night, Saturday morning, you'll see whichever way the line goes, kind of where the big money goes, I think. So
Gotcha.
I personally think it probably gets down. I mean, Georgia plus 5 is just hard not to take because of the name, but I don't know. I don't see it going any higher, do y'all?
No, I mean, I think it's just wild to see.
I think that's the highest it'll
5,
get. I think that's the highest it'll get.
I mean, when's the last time you've ever seen Georgia plus?
I don't remember ever seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do love. I will say I do love the. I think it's going to be a shootout.
Over. I like
D.
the over.
Smith, how
Yeah,
much cooler would this game, like just hypothetically, how much cooler would this game have been if they were both undefeated, though? You
it'd
know,
be awesome. It'd have been for a game
See,
day in
I don't
Texas.
know, dude. I think I like this more for Georgia since they have a loss.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know,
I
like
guess
in
yeah.
terms of
We come back, we win that game against Bama. All confidence in the world, but I haven't I really personally in like 5 years haven't seen a like Georgia team with their back against the wall. And this is the
yeah.
first time in a while, so it'll be interesting. I mean, if we come out and play like we did against Bama, give up 28, go down 28 nothing, like no shot. But I don't see that happening again. Hopefully,
Yeah.
if it does, yeah,
you know,
y'all won't hear from me.
I'm also curious if what's his face is still the receiver
Bond,
for Texas Bond. Is he health?
he's
Well,
like
didn't he
day to
get
day.
hurt? Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that's a big difference. Honestly, he's like the number one guy. So
yeah, we are getting our All American tackle back, I believe. So that's a big thing. But if Bond's playing, Bama guys so don't like Bond at all. But if he plays, obviously, Texas receivers are disgusting. But
yeah,
I guess we'll see. Wingo, I like the Wingo kid, freshman.
yeah.
Yeah, fuck that kid.
Fuck that kid. Why?
He was a Mizzou commit and then
Ugh,
decommitted to go to Texas like a fucking
nice,
bitch. Anyway,
nice.
all right, D Smith, we'll keep it moving now. LSU minus 2.5 going to Arkansas. I think you're on the same side of this as Sam.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, yeah. Arkansas. I'm not a big fan of Arkansas. I like their coach, but LSU looked good. Got some confidence. It is kind of a trap game because I think it's like one of those where it's kind of a rivalry. Not a lot of
Yeah,
people
I
know
think
it, but
it is.
it
Yeah.
is. So, but I think Arkansas I don't think they're a very good team, like I said.
We got Alabama minus 3 going to Tennessee over under 56.
Yeah, we're Tennessee haters here, so
Can't be
um,
Alabama here,
I
dude.
just Nika is not a good quarterback. He hasn't been a good quarterback. He's just Joe Milton 2.0, but actually worse statistically. So I think Bama rolls them.
I think so too.
Hey,
Uh,
real quick before you go to the next one, just yeah, your comment about you think Georgia Texas is going to be a shootout. Would you touch the over on it or no?
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would take the I'd take the over.
I
yeah,
like the over.
I think Texas has a good defense, but this will be by far the best offense Texas has seen, I
right,
believe.
right.
Um, and I still think Carson Beck's a top 10 pick, one of the better quarterbacks in the country. So if I don't know, it's a tough one because the defenses obviously could turn a page, I guess, but I don't
Right.
know. I like
Anyways,
the
go.
over. I like the
Yeah,
over.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Last one, East Carolina getting 16 going to Army over under 51.5.
Yeah, I'm a big troops guy here. We're looking forward to the undefeated Navy versus Army in the American Championship, and then play the next week again. So that's what we're hoping for.
That's gonna be badass if that happens.
That would be
What?
awesome.
So
So what's
badass.
crazy though is I guess they do the college football like selection show like before that.
Before, yeah.
So
Have any of y'all watched one of the Army games?
no, but I've heard they've been putting up crazy points.
Their quarterback is fun to watch. He hurdling people, stiff arming them to the ground. It's a good team, and they throw the ball a little bit. Obviously, they run triple option, but they've been kind of dominating teams recently. And East Carolina is one of the worst teams in the country.
Yeah,
So,
bad.
and
All right,
obviously, I got the team total over as well. So,
hell yeah.
Beautiful.
I think they get 34 easy.
Best of luck to you this week, D Smith. As an inaugural
luck. Much
guest
luck.
picker on the TMIW show. All right, to wrap this up, here we fucking go. Every week every week that I'm close to getting over 500,
500.
I just get smoked. So fade me if you want, ride me if you want, whatever. But without further ado, I've got Oregon minus 27.5 going to Purdue over under 61. I like Purdue here. I think we talked about it a little bit earlier. This is a total letdown spot for Oregon. This is on Friday night too, so they're going to get a one less day, and then they're going to have to travel all the way to Purdue's in Indiana, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All the way to Indiana. They're going to get one less night of sleep. I mean, if they didn't party their ass off after the Ohio State game, I'm going to have to question their sexuality. 27.5 is crazy. I think Purdue kind of found something that the last week against Illinois in the second half. And I think 27.5 is too much.
Waz, can I make a quick comment on that game?
Yeah.
The Oregon-Purdue game? These Big Ten teams, when they've traveled pretty far, the team traveling not playing well.
No.
I think
Penn
it's
State,
imagine.
Penn State last week, Ohio State last week, USC when they had to go to Michigan like a couple weeks ago and they got blown out, or not blown out, but they lost to Michigan. So yeah, I like it.
So that's I think Purdue does, Connor.
I think so too. That's on Friday night again.
Maybe sprinkle a little money on,
Just a little bit.
Ooh, just a touch, just a
We got
smidge.
a couple dollars. Next game, Alabama -3 against Tennessee over in 56. I'm with D. Smith here. I fucking hate Josh Heupel. I fucking hate Tennessee. Kalen, I know everyone's pissed off about Kalen DeBoer right now playing against Alabama, but like I said this on the show before. Kalen DeBoer, when he was with Washington, if you go back and look at his records with those teams, they would win almost every game. They would go play like a Utah State or whatever and barely win, and then they would go play Oregon, and then it's like, oh, they don't have a fucking chance against Oregon, and then they would look the best they've ever looked against. Like, this coach just gets up for big games, and this is going to be a big game, a ranked matchup in Tennessee. Last time they were there, they lost. I think they beat them by 20. Like, honestly, just beat the fucking shit out of Tennessee. I love the 3 points here.
If it's close, the Bama fans are going to start getting not very happy.
I agree. But, I mean, with DeBoer, like, I mean, this is what happened against Georgia. Like, they came out and they were fucking flying all over the field and just got on them early. So we'll see. I mean, I don't think Tennessee's offense is going to be able to do anything against Alabama's defense. So I'm not really worried there. I just need Alabama to outscore them. Tennessee has a good defense. I'll give them that. But their offense hasn't been impressive the last 2 weeks. So, next game, LSU -2.5, Arkansas over under 55.
Side.
I'm on the opposite side, boys. I like the letdown spot here. That game last week was one of the crazier college football games I've seen. LSU, honestly, like watching the game and betting on them, I was so nervous. I was like, basically just didn't count it as a hit the whole entire time until the very end. Ole Miss should have ran away with that game. They didn't. I mean, that's coach. There wasn't enough plays made for Ole Miss to win that game. And then also LSU's defense. Arkansas hasn't looked great the last couple of games, but they've also played Texas A&M and Tennessee, and those two defenses are pretty good. So I think LSU is like the worst of those three defenses that they'll see, and I like getting 2.5 at home. Georgia +5 going to Texas over under 56. I'm not touching a money line here, but 5 is just way too much for this game.
It's a lot.
So give me Georgia +5. This is fucking crazy that it's +5. Anyway, last game, Michigan -3.5 going to Illinois over under 43.5. I got Illinois +3.5, and I might also I'm going to take a money line too after Michigan just is not impressive at all, like whatsoever. Yeah. And this Illinois team, they got their ass whipped against Penn State, which I think is like basically last year's version of Michigan. Michigan is not this year's version of Michigan, so I like the 3.5 at home, boys. So
I like it. I like that one.
Well.
Without further ado, anyway, D. Smith, Sammy V, thanks for hopping on, boys. Y'all gonna have a friendly wager on that UT Georgia game or what?
I'll throw it. Do you want to do friendly $20? Friendly $20?
Let's make it 25.
All right, I'll make it 25.
Hell yeah.
Oh geez.
You're good. Well, D. Smith, I want to see. I need a live video from you during the Georgia game this weekend. Can you make that happen? We'll put it on the show.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll get that to you.
Hell yeah. All right, let's get the fuck out of here. Thanks, boys. Peace.
All right.
Peace.
That's tomorrow. And that is it for us today. Okay, I don't know what. Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that.
There it is. We are going to do a mistake. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, but now I can't read it. There's no words on it. There's no words there. To play us out. What does that mean? To play us out.
Sting is going to do the video. Sting video.
What is? I don't know what that means. To play us out. What does that mean? To end the show?
Yeah.
All right, go.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with a. I can't do it. We'll do it live.
No.
We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.